Oh my god, guys, did you hear that we have DLC announced for Persona 5 Tactica and we already know that Akechi is going to be in it as DLC? Yeah, I'll let you wait to hold your shock. See, the thing is, Akechi's been present or DLC in every Persona 5 spin-off, with the exception of Strikers, and that's probably because Strikers was announced at the same time as Royal, and since a big selling point of Royal was, hey look, Akechi's back, Strikers would steal that thunder. I fully believe if Strikers had come out way later, that he would be in it. Otherwise, Akechi's been in more Persona 5 spin-offs than he hasn't, and quite frankly, I'm getting a little fed up with it. Not because I hate him. Really, I just think that Atlus should maybe at some point just have another game where Akechi is just in the main cast and interacting with the main plot. And I promise I'm not coming at this from an entitled fan who wants to see more of their fave thing. To be clear, I am absolutely like that. It's just my love is for Yusuke, not Akechi. My problem is the massive dangling plot threads with Akechi that Atlus never resolves because Akechi's always booted to semi-non-canon DLC, or the game takes place before the events we're waiting for follow-up on, or in Tactica's case, both. Okay, by the time you beat Persona 4, you're not really left wondering, wow, I wonder what's up with Adachi. He's in prison. Any sort of arc he has is wrapped up, and while he does get a little mini one in Arena, and you do get a DLC story with him, that DLC story is more his perspective on the main plot of Ultimax. It's not really filling in plot points. Same with Shinjiro. He's pretty heckin' dead, so nothing you really gotta get filled in on, so he just gets to do some sad dances and be cryptic in the Q series, and we call it a day. To an extent, that's also the same with Sumi, who should probably be in the main story of Tactica, but you can construct a pretty decent in-universe excuse that she was always prioritizing her gymnastics over Phantom Thief stuff, and that's why she didn't join initially, so outside of threats she's personally involved in, or just making sure Joker doesn't die, she's just not interested in PT stuff. You can pretty easily guess what she's doing, and her arc is wrapped up. Well, that, and again, assuming it was a selling point in Royals, it takes away from Royals' appeal if she's also in Strikers. I fully believe they would have at least been DLC if Strikers had come out later. Anyway, the point is, as much as I want to see my girl, I have to admit Akechi's situation is a bit worse. Because with Akechi, we can't even be sure the last time we actually saw him. Yeah, so for anyone who needs the refresher, the last time we definitely 100% saw Akechi was sort of the engine room scene where he gets shot, but no body, no death. We know how this works. Then third semester happens, and you're led to believe he's been revived by Maruki. But the problem is, Maruki, who, mind you, is currently God, seems pretty damn sure that Akechi's dead, hence threatening you over it. Which makes the fact that Akechi shows up in the final cutscene for a split second pretty damn confusing. Was Maruki lying about Akechi being dead to manipulate Joker? That kind of reflects very poorly on his character in a way I don't think they intended otherwise. Was the version of Akechi we spent time with in third semester really him, or just Joker's cognition? Because the first thing he did when he came back was turn himself in, and then he got pissed that Maruki changed reality so he did nothing wrong. So it kind of seems weird that he's out and about in reality and hasn't turned himself in. And if that means the third semester Akechi isn't really Akechi and is a different thing, what does that mean for Akechi's entire character, or his relationship with the thieves? Is he actually interested in toning, or did he just realize his plan for Shida was stupid? Let's say third semester Akechi is him, somehow. What has he been doing? Again, he wanted to turn himself in, so why wouldn't he do that in reality? Is it something to do with the vestiges of the conspiracy he worked for? Is he trying to do something about that? Is the glimpse of him we see in the window even really him, or is it Joker being sad or crazy or whatever? There's a data mine cutscene with him, but who knows if that's intended to be canon? Cut content is cut. Who knows? Certainly not the audience, and that doesn't go into how everyone reacts to seeing him again after they thought he died twice. Hence, why I think maybe Atlus should consider just having Akechi be in the main plot of the game. I don't think, at this point, from what we've seen, shoving him into the plot of Tactica would be a good idea. That seems like a lot of other stuff is going on, and if they threw in the Akechi stuff, that just detract from both because it'll seem tacked on. Plus, there's the fact that this technically takes place just before the end of Royal, and thus that makes the dramatic irony of the final cutscene minimal if they already know he's back. It is possible the DLC will come with the story mode. That hasn't been confirmed as far as I know, and if it does, then maybe only Samuri knows he's back, which would sort of be in line for both characters, but like, we still need a proper reunion. And like, the worst case scenario is they have him coming back as part of the DLC of a spin-off game, which is shitty. Hopefully they don't put him in Persona 5X either, because as a Kingdom Hearts fan, let me tell you, important plot points being revealed in spin-off mobile games is frustrating as all get out. Maybe a spin-off manga showing what exactly happened to Akechi would be fine, but the reunion is probably something that should, be in the main game. That's just an important thing you don't want fans to potentially miss because it's on a completely different platform or medium. But yeah, for better or worse, Atlus set up at least one more encounter between Akechi and the Phantom Thieves, and I like to see that resolved without having to jump through too many hoops. And given that that's going to have enough baggage to fill a private airplane, it's only best if addressing the Akechi thing is something considered in the plot from the ground up as opposed to tacked on in DLC or something. I don't have expectations for what I want that reunion to look like, I just want it to happen. Also, if it turns out that we went through all this nonsense and Akechi turns out to be actually dead or dies again, then Atlus, I wish your social media team and public-facing positions the best of luck.